Hello and welcome to another episode of Someone Else's Story. Thank you for joining us today. And today I'm going to be interviewing the delightful Miss Nicola Westwood as she tells us some stories about her mother and the journey that is taking her to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival this year. Cheers! Nicola!
Hi!
How are you doing?
I'm alright, thanks.
Thank you for joining me today.
Right.
And thank you for coordinating so beautifully with us there.
Plan.
The zebra was behind her, but she blended in. She was a floating head. So, Nicola, tell the lovely people who are watching this, where did we meet?
We met at drama school.
Yeah, we did. So you were doing your MA in musical theatre.
I know, musical theatre.
My BA. We were the Mamped and the Bamped.
The Bamped.
we went off into the world of professional theatre. And then last year,
yes,
you got in touch.
About this time last year, actually.
I
know,
full circle. Tell people about that. Why did you get in touch? What did you want?
Well, I have an interesting mother. We'll get onto that later.
Oh, we will.
And I sort of wanted to do a collection of her stories.
Making her sound like an author.
Yeah, definitely not an author.
Anecdotes, if you will.
Yes, quotes. And I'd been talking about doing it for ages, doing it like a cabaret, and I invited you to come and join me,
you did.
sing with me, and do stupid things.
So that people understand why you do a show about your mother, could you just give us like the top 3 anecdotes that you think best sum up the legend that is Annie Westwood?
I mean, the one I usually go for is, people say you're pretty, so I suppose you must be, which is usually my favourite one to say. Because it's short and sweet.
Short and sweet, but sums up. Sums up the entirety.
Sums up. She has favourites. She has favourite stories of things she said to me. And then one was that she'd heard about this woman who'd been killed by falling masonry. And that in itself. And she was worried it was me because she hadn't spoken to me for 2 days. So she was reading this article, like she's thinking she's going to find it out in an article and no one would have rung her. But apparently that's normal. So yeah, she said she was reading about someone who'd been killed and it was like 27 in London. She was like, oh no, and they said, and then I read she was eating a banana and I knew it wasn't you. I was like,
that was the defining factor.
Not like I'm reading this in the Daily Mail, it's probably not my daughter. I might have been informed by now. No, she was eating a banana. Definitely not her. The heckling is great.
From the show, this is recent.
Did the show, Mum heckled me. Great. I was sitting there, not sitting there, standing, singing. And I go, this song my mum is going to hate because it was from Annie, and my mum's name is Annie. And I used to listen to it all the time. I used to quote it, I used to sing along, and I went, I used to sing this all the time. And then my mum voice from the side goes, that's why I hated it. Heckled by my own mum.
Roll clip.
That one, I'm doing this one instead, which is Tomorrow from Annie, which she hates it, which I used to sing along to all the time. That's why I hate it.
What kind of childhood, was it a happy childhood where you...
So my family are weird. In case my mum's not weird enough, my family are weird.
The rest of them are too.
No, because my parents are divorced.
Oh, I didn't realise.
Yeah, well, most people wouldn't. So they got divorced when I was 4, so I don't really remember them being together.
Right.
But we lived with my dad. Mum came around every day and was like a childminder. So she did like 9 to 6, and then Dad came home and Dad did 6 to 9 the next day. And then the weekends was just Dad. So, but we got both parents. I got both parents every single day for my whole life. But they were never together.
It was like on a timeshare situation.
Yeah, like a timeshare. That's what happened.
Part-time children, that's the way to go.
I think it's the only reason I've survived my mother. It's because I didn't live with her during puberty. Like, there was a separation point.
When did you first realise your mum was hilarious?
I don't know that I did for a long time. Because she was just normal to me. And I was talking to someone about the others, and they said, someone asked me the same thing, and I was like, well, there was the point when, so we lived near Eastbourne. Don't know if you know Eastbourne, but it's quite famous for the older generation. And we had a game, and this is going to sound really wrong, but the game was when you saw, like, if an old person was crossing the road, you got points if you were, like, going to run them over. So if you ran over someone with a Zimmer frames, you'd get, like, 20 points. If they had a cardigan, that was 5 points. There was a blue rinse,
It's like bowling, but with a car and people. Good.
Nobody got killed. Nobody was hurt in this game.
But like, was there a moment when you started telling either people or your friends about it, you're like, oh, this is great?
But I think, do you know what? I don't think it was until I like went to, not even at university, I don't think I thought my mum was weird. I thought she was quite normal. I think it was when I went to drama school, and then I'm like going, oh, yeah, my mum said this to me, and they're like, That's
also really telling. It took you to go to drama school for you to realise. And in that situation, that's when
that really natural, normal situation I went.
From drama school, like, wait a minute.
My mum's a bit strange.
Incredible.
I think it was also because you go to drama school and they're like, how your parents, like, my parents are really supportive, they like really believe in me, and I'm like, but my mum doesn't want me to be here. Like, for the first 16 years of my life, my mum told me I couldn't sing, like,
which is not true.
And like when I wanted to start like a drama, she was like, you can dance, but you can't act. And then I did acting, and she was like, and I wanted to do singing, she went, you can act, but you can't sing. And then I was like, oh great, thanks.
So you had to prove these every time.
I had to prove, like, this, I suppose it is my rebellion. My rebellion from my mum is like, I'm gonna do what you hate. And she introduced me to theatre, it's her fault.
It is, all comes full circle. This is true!
That's my brother.
In the blue blanket.
Blue blanket.
But with your tag next to him.
I enjoy this because it says, delivery, normal. Just my mum, looking happy. Being a normal brother.
Is that your brother?
Yeah.
We're looking at far something far more interesting on a digital camera.
Yeah, it's
Remember
quite
those
dated,
days?
this actually. Not an iPhone. She's just got a...
I'd say this is a defining picture.
I'm like, that's probably not even the worst one.
It's not just a cone though, she's wearing a party hat.
Yeah, she didn't quite as big.
How? Why?
I bought her a poo hat. And she's happily wearing it. Essentially, you pin like a little chicken to your bum. Like to your bottom of your shirt, so it dangles down.
In a phallic manner.
In a phallic manner. And then you've got these magnetic eggs that you have to pick up by squatting down and carry them to like another part of the room. And it was just me and my...
How do you release them?
You have to like knock
Wiggle.
them off. Wiggle them off. The article.
So set this up for the people, for the viewers.
The article.
What, where, how, more importantly, and...
How?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so my mum is obsessed with finding me a husband.
As all mothers are.
But to be fair, like I am at least over 10 years like behind what she was married at 21, like I'm 34, still not even got a boyfriend.
Catch up!
Come on. So she, she's written to take me out, to get me on that. I genuinely had a phone call from First Dates the other day. Being like, hi, we've got your application here.
What, did you fill it out as you?
Yeah, she pretends to be me and sends it in. And then I had to be like, oh no, that's my mum. And she went, oh yeah, that makes sense because we've got 4 different applications and they all say different things. And I was like, did I ask mum?
What one's for you?
For me. Like I've applied 4 different times, but it's my mum applying 4 different times. And I rang her and I said, why have you applied 4 times? She went, I didn't apply 4 times, maybe twice, maybe 3 times. And I'm like, no mum, they've told me it's 4 times. She denies it, but she rang me up once and said, I was chatting to someone at work, he was booking a single room, and he went, oh yeah, just the one, don't have a girlfriend. And she went, oh, I've got a daughter I want to get rid of. Like that was her phrases. I want to get rid of
Right, Mrs. Bennett, calm down. All of a sudden we're all in a Jane Austen novel.
So then she decided to write to the Daily Mail because they have a blind date thing. She got a message and I was like, got a text message from Hannah, don't be angry.
I already am.
And the other day, I applied for this thing in the Daily Mail and they've rung me. You're through. I've got it. We went to the Daily Mail building, we had a photo shoot. Mum was
terrible. You both got like jazzed up as well,
we
didn't you?
We got jazzed up in
time.
some interesting sparkly dresses. Mum can't pose, she's not photogenic. And I'm like, the woman had this quite strong Scottish accent and my mum couldn't understand what she was saying. So I'm like relaying what this woman's asking her to do.
It's an echo.
And in like the way that a mother and daughter communicate. Like, no mum, crush your arms, crush your arms. No, not that for, like, people must have thought, what is wrong with these two?
This is the article.
This is the article.
And so, whilst we're showing this, how was the date?
The date was fine. Oh, there he is.
There.
There we are.
You're getting in on that. And can we talk about the things I enjoy about this?
Yeah.
The bow and arrow.
Yeah, because she's Cupid, obviously. So obviously the worst thing you can do is look at the Daily Mail comments.
But you did it.
But I
did your mum do it?
She did. She found them hilarious. She found them funnier than me. I went through a period where I was like, I was slightly offended by some of these, and she was like, I think they're really funny.
Your mum probably wrote them.
They might get husbands if they didn't all have such chunky legs.
We shouldn't laugh because this is everything that is wrong. Not everything. It's a lot of what is wrong with society, but we're laughing at the keyboard warriors.
I bet all those mothers gave false addresses to get their daughters into a school.
What?
Nicola is attractive, but actress? Quotation marks. I love this one. No thanks, love. I don't want my life trashed. I don't want to be accused of anything, either now or in the future. I don't want to stand trial on some malicious allegations. I don't want to build a life together and see it trashed and spend the rest of my life in financial ruin and misery.
Wow.
He's a happy man.
Wow. So you have taken all these delightful stories from your mother.
It's just tip of the iceberg.
Just tip of the iceberg.
There's so many.
And where can people hear more?
Oh, I'm going to be in Edinburgh.
Yeah, you are.
I
Edinburgh
am.
Fringe 2019.
2019.
Holla.
Slightly pleased that Brexit isn't going to happen until after that, because I was slightly terrified I would be able to survive.
The rest of us worrying about the financial state of the country, and Nicola like, I've got a show to do. Such an actress, and you got accused of not being an actress.
That too, but also I was like, God, I'm going to go up there, there's going to be no money, it's got to make leave, I'm not going to get there. It's fine, guys, it's not happening till October.
So you're going, where can people catch you?
I'm at Paradise Green. Which is just opposite Greyfriars Bobby, so you can go to the dog and then come to see me.
Beautiful. Link in the bio.
Yeah, I'll work out how to do that.
And if I give you like a 30-second pitch to the general public for your show, should have prepped you on that.
Which camera? Which camera? That one. That one. So I'm doing a show. It's called Too Ugly for Love Island. Because what do you do if you're too ugly to apply for Love Island? Your mum writes to the Daily Mail. Join me for some stories about my mum and dating, and some songs as well that I've changed to suit my mother. She'll hate them anyway, so it's fine. Come and see it.
Perfect show for everyone apart from
Apart from my mum. She's coming.
There you go.
She's coming. She said, at least you'll have an audience on one day. And I was like, that's probably quite true actually, but thanks, Mum.
What would you say to anyone watching this? I don't know if there is one, if there's a takeaway from the hilarious stories of your mum, and do you have a message about mothers generally, or about parents generally, or run? No.
I love my mum. She's great. She's highly entertaining. She's given me the career she didn't want me to have. What have I got to complain about?
I think that's something that, I from watching your situation from afar, I guess she still supports. She's still, even though she will initially try and discourage.
Well, I mean, I talk to her every day, which is unhealthy, but I do talk to her every day, and so we've got a weird relationship where we just are very honest with each other. And while that's a bad thing at times, it's entertaining. And yeah, I think I love the relationship I have with my mum.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want it to be any different. And I think, all I see it is if I get really famous, she'll keep me grounded.
She'll drag you down.
I'll always be.
Keep them.
I won't think I'm too good because Mum's going to tell me.
She won't let it happen.
She won't let it happen.
I suppose there's something in there about relationships just look different to everyone. They work differently.
Yeah. Well, I sort of think I think I actually have, despite how unhealthy it seems, a very healthy relationship with my mother. That's probably not true, but
no,
I do, because everything is open for discussion. Even growing up, there was never a subject matter that was off limits. I'm going to be vile now, but I remember asking her what periods looked like, and she was like, well, next time I have one, I'll show you. That's disgusting, but for me as a kid, I was like, okay.
Answer the question.
I know all that, and she, both of us like to be naked quite a lot. That's a weird thing to say about your mum. But because growing up I saw this woman who had 2 children and I saw her body, I think it's given me quite a good body image. I'm really comfortable with myself, even though she tells me I need to lose weight. But ironically, the things she says don't necessarily match up with what she does.
Yeah.
So I think she's given me this real. I know what a real person is. I know what a real body looks like. I know who I am because she's sort of shown me. And despite the fact she doesn't want me to be an actor, she has always wanted me to be independent because she grew up in a generation where women didn't have careers.
Yeah.
And that's why she's frustrated with me. It's because she wasn't very academic and I was. She was told she would be a receptionist and then she'd be a mum and she didn't need to learn to drive, and like she grew up in the 70s, like women were just wives and mothers, that's what they did. And I think she wanted me to have a career, everything she couldn't have. And so probably my children I want them to have the career I didn't have. I'll be that annoying stage mum.
It all comes full circle.
But no, I think that's why she's frustrated, because she didn't have opportunities that I have.
Yeah.
And I am doing something she would never do, but that isn't reliable, doesn't give me stability. And she wants that for me because she didn't have that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it comes from love. It comes from love.
100%. I was going to say, like, in spite of that you guys love each other, and that's so clear for me. Like, again, from watching the version of the show Above the Arts, it's so clear that you guys still love and support each other.
Yeah.
And families are weird. That's the takeaway. Families are weird.
I also love that. I think it's affected my flirting. Because I think I show affection by being rude to people. I'm like, oh, you're a bit of an idiot, aren't you? Oh, stupid coat you've got on. And that's my way of showing affection.
That's why there's no man.
That's
so
why there's
Annie,
no man.
you made a rod for your own back,
It's
okay?
your fault, Mum.
Finish off. Sum up your mum in one word.
One word. Odd. She's odd.
Annie Westwood. Well, thank you for joining us today, and thank you, Nicola, for sharing us some absolute gems about your mother, and thank you, Annie, for not only giving Nicola enough material to do a show at Edinburgh, but for giving me enough material to do an entire interview out of this. We wish you all the best for the Edinburgh show. Link is in the bio. If you're going up to Edinburgh, go see it. If not, go see it anyway. And have the best time.
Thanks.
You'll love it.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time for another Someone Else's Story. Boom!